My name is Chooks Ahiako. So today we had our online training on revenue strategies for a time like this during crisis. It was really well attended, and the people, the participants, they had tons of value. I will be talking about some of the things subsequently. But today I'm going to be introducing a new theme and a new series. I call it Authentic Selling. Interestingly, if you speak on leadership, eventually you will be speaking sales. Leadership and sales, I find them to be opposite sides of the same coin. Leadership and sales. When you're selling, you do better when you approach it with self leadership. You are the person, you are your own boss, and you think on your feet, and you solve problems. Leadership and sales, they share so many things. And of course, if you are leading, you are persuading people. So you could see that there is a commonality between leadership and sales. And so I taught today on revenue. Revenue is about selling strategies of selling. Just before we really get into that, earlier today I did a little poll about mindset and strategy. It was quite interesting. I asked a simple question between strategy and mindset. Which one is more important, or which one comes first? Interestingly, most of the respondents say that mindset beats strategy. And as I thought about it, something came to my mind. I'm going to still be looking at that. I may not be today, as to if that is true, how come that I don't know about you, but when I did my MBA, I only had a class in strategy. There was no class in mindset. And so you find that the things that are really more important that help people to succeed in life are not taught to them in formal schools. It's something like either the people who designed the school system, they were not intelligent enough, or they were not very charitable. I didn't want to use a bad word, like I almost wanted to say that they could have been mischievous. Okay, so let's credit them that they were not very charitable. And so just some thoughts about that. And so here we're talking about selling, authentic selling. And today I want to kickstart that discussion and training. Is I'm going to go real in depth because this is the specialty that around everything that artist centers around is about authenticity and courageous leadership, and how that impacts on your performance. I remember the I'm a performance consultant. I consult. I help businesses and people consulting in the area of performance and innovation. And so today we're looking at. Sorry for that interruption. Some power change. So I'll be looking at the topic of the most important sale to make, the most important sale to make. But just before that, it's something that you could think about, but I'm so persuaded that selling is the number one skill, life skill, number one business skill. Every day you are trying to persuade, you're trying to influence people to your cause, You're trying to help them. You're trying to get them to help you. You're trying to get them to buy into your logic, into your opinions, even when you're making comments on social media. That is what you're doing. You are selling. You're selling your ideas. You're selling yourself. And selling is so honorable. Everything you were doing. By the way, something about that, I think this might be quite helpful to you. Just about me, okay, and it could relate to you. They thought about being serious. Okay, I found that because again I'm quite positive. I don't tend to be anxious. I don't tend to worry. But then I found that I needed some stronger drive, to bring to my business, my consulting, and I found how to go about it. How to go about it is this: that just connected again with selling. We're just talking about selling. The most important sale to make is that I need to take what I'm doing serious. That's the word serious, okay? Not for my own sake, but for the sake of people who need what I've got, for the sake of people who my gifting is for, the people who my talents, my experiences, my perspectives, and everything about me as is for. So when we are selling, we are being very other centered. We are not being self centered. People who say, no, I can't sell, I'm a shy person, they are just thinking about themselves. I don't want to say they are selfish, but at the best, they are self centered. And so, how to see selling is that you want to bring a benefit to someone. You are not taking from them. You're not taking their money, but you are bringing some value. You found something. And so, what is the most important sale to make is to sell yourself to yourself. Selling yourself to yourself is quite difficult for some people, and if you are in that place, I can help you if you just listen. Again, it's around this being self-centered. The challenge is that you know yourself so well. You know your imperfection, you know your failures, you know your weaknesses, and but just look at when you're selling something else. What are you selling? What do you do? You get to find out the benefits of that product. You get to understand that product, what it's going to do, the value. So you are quite clear about the value proposition, and sometimes you're quite clear about the unique value proposition of the product. That is the same kind of discipline you're going to bring in when you're going to sell yourself to yourself. Is to sell. Take the time to reflect, take the time to find out what are your strengths, take the time to reflect, take the time to find out about what have been your accomplishments in life. Okay, so that is what you need to focus on, and that is what you need to visualize. That is the picture, and that is the image that you need to have of yourself. And so, just like any product you are selling, it's not without any flaw or weakness. A product that does something, there are other things it cannot do. So that is also how you are. That your strength equips you to solve some certain problems, meet some certain needs, it, it, and just like no product can be there for everybody. So that is also how you are. You are not for everybody, and so accepting that truth is going to help you. That there are some good things about you, there are some positives, there are some strengths about you, and those are for some certain people. There are certain people in this world, in a world of 7 billion people. There are some of them, it may be like a million. If a million people are looking for the gifts in you, that should make you feel good about yourself. Forget about the balance. You don't need the rest 6 points that are the 9 billion people as. Okay, so that is going to be your focus, your strongest points. Everybody have got their strengths and their weaknesses. No matter how hard you're going to try, there are some areas you're not just going to be as strong as in other areas. So it's about finding your dominant strengths, and so those are the things you'll be very clear about, so very clear. And for the other parts of your life, you just need to accept that that is how you are, for your own good too, because if you are good in every way, then you can just be aimless, which is one of the challenges that very talented people have got. The choice of what do they do, because they are so strong in so many things, and so that becomes another difficult. So it's even good that you don't have strength in everything, and so that helps you to have a strategy, some direction of where you're going to focus your strengths in. And I hope this is some value to you. And so you are selling yourself to yourself. Why it is the most important sale to make is that we communicate more than just what we say. If you don't accept yourself, then your body will communicate that, and so you will not be very effective in influencing people, in persuading people. And so what's the place of authenticity in all this? The authenticity is there that you're going to be comfortable in your own skin. You're going to be comfortable. Accept yourself as you are. Accept your strengths. Accept your weakness. Yes, if it's some moral weakness, you're going to safeguard yourself and protect yourself. But where you should be focusing on is in your strengths. You're going to be using your strengths. The fish does not struggle to begin to climb a tree, and so don't begin to try to do something that you don't have some gifts in it. You just be wasting your time in it. Some people, they are easier to make others to laugh. That is fine, and that is how God gifted us. And by the way, yes, a great time to just talk about a great man and servant of God that just went home to be with the Lord. Ravi, Dr. Ravi Zacharias, an evangelist in his own right. Yeah, somehow they call him an apologist, but he could stand and argue with the highest intellectuals of this world, in the Oxford, in the Cambridges of this world, and beat them at their own argument. The atheists, he could beat them with his reasonings about the gospel. His own ministry was not about signs and wonders, but he had a calling to the academia. He had a calling. He had a message. He had a gifting for the people with very high intellect, and he was so effective in that area. So, what is all this about? You have some strengths. Be authentic. Be your authentic self, and accept yourself for who you are. That acceptance and that self-love will help you to sell yourself in interviews, sell yourself when you're trying to get investors into your company, sell yourself when you're trying to get partners, sell yourself when you're trying to get a husband, sell yourself when you're even trying to sell anything else, because people get to buy the confidence that you have about what you are communicating before they buy what you are selling. And so it is a new series on authentic selling. We just started with that. The most important sale to make is selling you to you, selling yourself to yourself. And so I'm going to be with you tomorrow again about this time. Good night and God bless.